Aren't we having a great great day? A great day. It's wonderful, isn't it? Thank you so much, Chris, and everybody who's contributed. I'm really enjoying myself. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Phil Goody. I'm the encumbrance at Highworth. And I look after 5 churches there, and I got to meet this wonderful man, Simon. I got the name right?
That's right. Good afternoon.
Yeah, met Simon earlier on this morning, and I'm really looking forward to your story. We chatted briefly, and you said you wanted to start at the end before you got to the beginning.
Yeah, otherwise we'll run out of time for sure.
So tell us about the end.
So today, if anyone's from Swindon, I work at the best takeaway on Wood Street, obviously. That's Eggalicious, and that's my front line. Eggalicious is, like I said, the best takeaway in Swindon. Plug there. But it's front line because we cater, well, it's a takeaway for one. It's on Wood Street, which Wood Street is pretty much now Swindon's town center because there's not much town center left in Swindon. And it's, it's where a lot of the bars and nightlife take place as well. Not that we're open at night, but we close at 6 before the animals come out. But we cater to the emergency services, local business people, and kind of the Swindon underworld as well. Like I was saying to a friend of mine over here, we'll never be robbed because about a year ago, our tip spot got nicked, and it wasn't the police that brought it back. It was some of the, let's say, local youths that brought it back. Saying that, all seriousness, I have a bit of an icebreaker, and in the shop, I always play kind of very modern, kind of low-level Christian music. And I've met a lot of pastors who come in and been like, we never hear Christian music playing in a takeaway. Worship leaders, but also the questions get asked to me, and most of them start out like this: is that Christian music? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, why? That's usually the other question that comes along. And, my first reaction or my first response to them is because it's hard. It's a challenge. I've not been a Christian very long. I've been a Christian for about 3 years. Before that, I had no faith. God and I were not on talking terms. I've seen a lot of ugliness in the world growing up, so I spent a lot of my life shielding myself from God. But a few years ago, that all changed. And now I see myself sharing my experience to those who come in and ask that question, why? And a lot of it is, some of them are policemen. Some of them are just out of prison gangsters that I would call gangsters. I was one, so I can call them that. And everyday people, and one of my good friends now who owns a very successful promotion business around the corner in Old Town, highly successful, came into the shop one day and was just in absolute despair. He had everything. You name it. He has the car. He has the house. He has a beautiful wife. He has a family. He has a career. He has his own business. But he actually said to me, he goes, I'm empty. He goes, I don't want to go buy something else because nothing's filling me up. And our takeaway, we do gourmet food. And it's Indian based. So we have every color of mustard seed that you can think of. And on Sunday, we had a sermon at Christ Church about having just enough faith as a mustard seed. And I took one of the smallest mustard seeds we have, and I put it in between 2 pieces of sellotape, and I handed it to him. I said, that's all you got to need. And the thing was, he came from a faith-based background as a teenager, heavily involved in church, but material and business and the people who he works for, it just got further away. And actually now he started to attend church in Farringdon. He's coming back to his faith. He comes in all the time. We have a lot of chats about the world and where you fit into it as a Christian and where does God fit into all this as well. But he carries that little mustard seed around in his wallet now.
So you're saying the church is in your takeaway?
Absolutely, 100%. Yeah.
So could we just, one last question. What's the name of your takeaway again?
Yeah. It's on Wood Street, and you can't miss it. It's called Eggalicious.
Eggalicious.
We're not just eggs. So thank you.